Lori's Kitchen. So today we're going to be making some stuffed pork chops in the Instant Pot. And this is going to be a quick and easy recipe. I found some stuffed pork chops at Sam's Club, and most grocery stores have some stuffed pork chops already. These were stuffed with bacon and cheese, so they go right along with the keto diet. I'm going to show you how to cook them in the Instant Pot, and I'm going to show you how to make an amazing gravy with it afterward. So let me show you what they look like. So come along with me and let's make some stuffed pork chops in the Instant Pot together.
Let's take a look at the ingredients needed to make this recipe. First, you need 4 pre-stuffed boneless pork chops. I have 4 that are just a little under 2 pounds. If you can't find any pre-stuffed ones, you can stuff your own with 4 boneless pork chops, 3/4 cup of shredded cheddar cheese, 4 pieces of bacon cooked and diced, 2 teaspoons of seasoned salt, 1/2 teaspoon of black pepper, and if you like it spicy, 1/4 teaspoon of red pepper flakes. You'll need 2 cups of chicken broth. I like to use the low sodium version. If your pork chops are not pre-seasoned, this is my special seasoned salt that I like to use. If you're making this keto friendly, you're going to need 1/4 teaspoon of xanthan gum. If you're just going to make it regular, just use cornstarch for a thickener, probably about 2 tablespoons. And you'll need 4 tablespoons of butter, 1 per pork chop. Let's get started. So when we plug in our Instant Pot, we're going to hit the Saute button and let it warm up. You're going to hear 3 beeps that let you know that it's on and it's getting ready to warm up. If the display shows hot, then you know it's ready to start browning your meat. Now that our Instant Pot is ready to go, I'm going to go ahead and put in half of the butter, which is 2 pats of butter. Cover the bottom of the pan real well. I'm going to save the other 2 pats for the second side of the pork chops. Now remember, these are stuffed pork chops, so when I put them in the pan, I want to make sure that they're leaning on the side, but I don't want too much of the stuffing to fall out. It's inevitable that some of the cheese and bacon will fall out, which is going to be fine because it's going to add a lot of flavor to the sauce. But do your very best to try to put them in carefully so you try to lose the least amount of filling. And you should be able to fit all 4 of the pork chops at one time in a 6-quart Instant Pot for standard size boneless pork chops. We're going to be searing these pork chops for about 4 minutes on each side. When I started the saute function, I do it on the normal setting, which is the middle setting. There's less normal and more when you push the saute. It's sort of a toggle button. And I start out with normal. If it's not cooking fast enough, then I turn it up to high. So I'm sauteing for about 4 minutes on each side under normal. Because these pork chops are stuffed with cheese, they're going to be a little more sticky to the bottom of the pan than usual. So I'm going to go ahead and add in the 2 pats of butter. Hopefully this will help me loosen up the pork chops without tearing the meat as I flip them over. As you can see, they're sticking just a little bit, so I'm just trying to be careful to, actually the meat isn't going to tear, but I'm more worried about all the stuffing coming out. So look how nice that sear is. It came out beautifully. So now I'm just going to continue and carefully turn over each piece of my pork chop, and look at that golden sear. It's just beautiful. As you can see, I'm holding the edge of the pot with my fingers. When you're sauteing, the edge, the rim, does not get hot. Only once it's been under pressure cooking, then it will be hot to the touch. So right now I'm able to touch it with just my fingers. I've seen some people use big binder type of clips to hold it in place, but I have no problem just using my fingers. Now look at how beautiful that is. You can see there is some cheese on the bottom, and we're going to deal with that after we brown both sides. Now that the pork chops have had a chance to sear on both sides, I'm going to carefully remove them from the pot and put them on a dish. Again, they're sticking just a little bit. I'm being very careful with my tongs, lifting them out and putting them on a clean plate. These smell delicious already. I wish you could smell what I smell while cooking these. Now this is one of the most important steps of the process. As you can see, there's bacon bits and cheese stuck to the bottom of the pan. And you want to deglaze it. So by deglazing it, I put in about a half a cup to a cup of the chicken broth. And I'm using a wooden spoon, and I'm going to ensure that I scrape off every bit of whatever is sticking to the bottom before I start pressure cooking. I'm doing this so I can avoid a burn error. However, keep in mind that all of that goodness, the bacon, the cheese, the brown bits are going to add so much flavor to our final gravy. So be patient. Keep scraping the bottom of the pan. If you need more liquid, add in a little bit more of your chicken broth, and keep scraping till you're sure that the bottom of your pan is 100% clean and nothing is sticking to it. Pour in the remainder of your chicken broth. Place your trivet inside the Instant Pot and stand up your pork chops with the cut side open so all the filling stays in them. Line them around the edges. Now I'm going to take my lid and ensure that my sealing ring is pushed down and set properly inside the lid of my Instant Pot. Now we're going to place the lid on our pot, turn it, you'll hear the cute little beep, and then ensure that our valve is set to sealing. Now that our pot is ready to go, we just need to push the functions. We hit cancel, pressure cook, and I need to increase my time to 10 minutes. You will hear 3 beeps, and then you'll know it's turning on and getting ready to get to pressure. Once it's to pressure, it starts counting down for 10 minutes. When it's done, it says L000. Then you know the pressure cooking time is done. We're going to let it sit for a natural pressure release of 11 minutes. After the 11 minutes has elapsed, we're going to go ahead and do a final quick release of the rest of the pressure. In order to do the final quick release, I'm going to push the valve to venting, and all the steam will slowly come out. It may take a few minutes, and what we're waiting for is that silver pin to drop. One thing to understand is if you do part natural release, that the quick release process is going to take less time. By natural pressure release, some of the pressure has come out already, so when you do a quick release, it's usually a shorter period of time. So once we see the pin drop, we know that it'll be safe to open up our Instant Pot. After the pin drops, we're going to hit cancel. We're going to carefully open our lid and smell those wonderful stuffed pork chops. They look amazing. So now to complete them, I'm going to hit the Saute button so we can thicken the gravy. First, I'm going to double check that the meat is to temperature. Pork should be at just 145 to 160. Since the pork is at the perfect temperature, I'm going to carefully remove the pork chops with the clean tongs, and I'm standing them upright so all the stuffing stays in there. Now I'm going to take my tongs and put the trivet on a plate to remove it. Stir the bottom of the Instant Pot because I know some of the bacon and cheese is stuck to the bottom. And I'm going to wait for my sauce to come to a boil. Once it comes to a boil, I'm going to add in my thickener, whether it be xanthan gum for keto or a cornstarch slurry with 2 tablespoons of cornstarch mixed with 2 tablespoons of cold water. As you can see, my gravy is starting to boil, so I'm going to mix it. I've already put in my slurry or my xanthan gum. Now you can see it's nice and thickened. And there you have it, stuffed pork chops with a delicious homemade gravy. I like to serve it with green beans. And if you're not following a keto diet, this would be delicious with some homemade mashed potatoes because this gravy would be just so delicious on it. There's bacon and cheddar cheese in it, so it's delicious. If you enjoyed this recipe, please give my video a thumbs up and comment down below. If you would like to see more of my videos, please hit the subscribe button and turn on your notification bell to be informed when my next weekly video is available. Thank you for watching and see you next time. Bye-bye.